Hello, my name is Kathy Smith, and I work for the Ross County Board of Developmental Disabilities as an investigative agent. Some of the duties that I have are to work closely with law enforcement and the court system to ensure that individuals with developmental disabilities receive the same consideration that the rest of us would when we're victims of a crime. While the above are my job duties, another duty that I would have would be to inform the public of the issues that individuals with developmental disabilities can face when they're victims of a crime. I've worked in my current position for 11 years, and I've worked closely with law enforcement, prosecutors, defense attorneys, and the court system to ensure that the individuals who receive our services in Ross County have the same rights as the rest of us. I have successfully worked on several cases where law enforcement or the court system felt that it wouldn't make it through due to the individual's disability. Luckily, we came back and we were able to win these cases and get convictions from them. I believe that all individuals, regardless of their intellectual functioning, have the right to defense of law enforcement personnel. Individuals with developmental disabilities are at a higher risk to be victims of crime and are not always believed by law enforcement due to their disability. Individuals with developmental disabilities are at higher risk of being a victim of a crime, and approximately 1 in 5 individuals have some sort of a disability that interferes with their functioning, and 1 in 10 have a severe disability. People with developmental disabilities are 4 to 10 times higher to be a victim of a crime than people without a disability. Crime victims with disabilities may experience victimization at the hands of their family or caregivers, their intimate partners, or personal assistance staff, such as the caregivers that come in to actually take care of them. Some individuals with developmental disabilities require special needs when it comes to tasks. Unfortunately, most of us don't perceive these disabilities as needing special accommodations, but in reality, the stress of being involved in a crime combined with their disability can create an experience that is very trying for the individual. Individuals with developmental disabilities have a hard time dealing with law enforcement and the legal system, and this can be due to communication skills deficits, impaired judgment, and law enforcement and the legal system sometimes do not receive the proper training to be able to deal with individuals with developmental disabilities. Ross County Board of Developmental Disabilities conducts a class that we give to our individuals that receive services that helps them understand what abuse and neglect are and to be able to understand their rights. This is a 9-week-long class, and during this time we discuss physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, and financial abuse. During the class, we also help them identify people that we call safe people. And a safe person for them is someone that they can talk to about things, they can tell things to, and that they trust that they'll give them good advice and make sure that they make good decisions. What can you do as part of the public to help? Don't stand by idly if you see someone being abused or neglected. Call the police. Ask the individual if they need help. Understanding that individuals with developmental disabilities can become lifelong friends. By befriending them, an individual with developmental disabilities, they can become lifelong friends, and you can be a lifeline for them in a time of crisis. Helping the individual make contact with law enforcement, sometimes just making that phone call is very hard for them, and become an advocate for them with the legal system. Helping them understand the legal process, understanding what's going to come next within that process, and helping law enforcement understand things that maybe the individual can't express to them, that they need an interpreter to be with them. An outstretched hand, a smile, and a moment of your time is all it takes to change someone's day. When you see someone in need, these gestures can make a difference in ways that most of us take for granted due to our extended family and our social ties. Individuals with developmental disabilities are at a higher risk of becoming victims of crime, and even more likely to be repeatedly victimized. The problems that face these individuals in dealing with law enforcement can range anything from communication issues to impaired judgment, and law enforcement just not knowing how to interact with the individual. As a citizen, I feel that everyone's responsible to step up and help those who may not be able to help themselves. You can make a difference by just being a friend to that individual. I believe that all individuals, regardless of their intellectual functioning, have the right to defense of law enforcement personnel, and you can be a part of making that difference.